What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. This video is going to be all about my favorite products from REPHR. I have all of their products, all of their brushes, their skincare, you name it. I've tested it all, and you guys are always asking me, what should I get? What's good for this kind of makeup? You want my recommendations. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be getting ready while I demo all of my favorite products from the brand. And at the time of me filming this video, REPHR is having a buy one, get one sale on all of their brushes. They're also having, I believe, 40% off all of their skincare. They have a lot of good deals going on their site. So hopefully this will be helpful if you guys want to pick up anything in the sale. So if you want to hear all about my favorites from REPHR, then keep watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you are new here, consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Sophia and I am a complete luxury beauty addict. I upload new videos every single week on topics just like this. I also love brands like Chanel, Dior, Tom Ford, lots of Sephora brands, lots of new makeup reviews. So hit that subscribe button if you want to join our fam. Also, quick disclaimer, guys, this video is not sponsored by REPHR. I'm not getting paid to say any of these things. All of these recommendations are completely genuine. What I will say is that I am a REPHR affiliate. So just like with any of my other reviews, I let you guys know, I'm gonna link all of the products in the description box. When you shop through those links, I do earn a small commission. So shopping through my links is a great way to support my channel. This is going to be a very instructional video. I'm gonna be doing demos with every brush, really telling you guys how I like to use them so that you don't waste your money on things you don't need. So if you just want to know the list of brushes, it's all going to be down in the description box. But if you want to hang out with me and actually learn more about the products, why I like them, and why maybe I might buy REPHR over Sonia G, Chikuhodo, BK Beauty, that kind of stuff, then you're going to want to stick around. Let's get into it. All right, friends, let's get into it. I'm going to kick things off with my favorite skincare product from REPHR. This is what I like to use for skin prep. This is their Intense Hydration Cream. They have two different moisturizers in the range. One of them is this one, which is like more thick for dry skin. And then they have a gel-based one that's better for kind of like oily skin, or I kind of like it in the summer as well. My boyfriend uses that one and I like to use this one. I really like the REPHR skincare. Pretty much everything that I've tried has been really good, but this is my absolute favorite. All their skincare is very like minimalist, simplistic, fragrance-free, no essential oils, just kind of like very to the point, good ingredients. This one has 20% shea butter. It has 5% niacinamide. There's macadamia seed oil, ceramides, just like really good moisturizing ingredients. The texture of it is very creamy and thick. It's very, very similar in texture and feel and moisturizing properties to the Creme de la Mer, that really thick moisturizer that I love. It's not gonna have like the miracle broth and all the stuff that the Creme de la Mer has, but if you really like that texture and the level of hydration that you get from the Creme de la Mer, check this out because I love this. It also comes with this little thing that you pop on and turn so that you get like every little bit out of the tube. It's so good. So I already prepped my skin with this morning when I was doing my skincare. I'll just put a little bit of the excess on. Don't sleep on the REPHR skincare. They have an essence, they have a cleanser, they've got the moisturizers. It's all really good. Now we're getting into the makeup, guys, and I want to show you guys my favorite foundation brush from REPHR. This is the REPHR 31. This is an angled duo fiber brush. You guys will see in the close-ups, there are some fibers that are a little bit shorter, and then there are some fibers that are a little bit longer. So you get a very like wispy texture, wispy effect when you apply your makeup. I really like using this for foundation. You can use this for cream blush. You can also use this for cream contour as well. It's a very versatile brush. If you need something for cream products, highly recommend you check this one out just because it's good for so many uses. I like to use this a lot for foundation, so I'm going to be applying my foundation today with this. I just mixed for today the new Prada foundation that I reviewed for you guys with the RMS sunscreen serum. Really good mixture, by the way. I'm going to link all the makeup products that I use in the description box. See how like light and airy and quick this goes on without making the foundation be streaky. It really does a great job at doing a sheer application so that the makeup doesn't get cakey, so you can kind of build it up in layers. Because I know a lot of my subscribers, you guys, like, you like some coverage, but you don't want to put on so much coverage that it kind of settles into fine lines throughout the day. At least for me, I try to apply as little foundation as I need. And the Prada foundation, it is more like matte, medium to full coverage. I like using this type of brush because it does a good job not over applying it and making it look like a mask that is on my face. It feels so good as well because it's duo fiber. It feels like very wispy and soft on the face. And if you guys didn't know, most of the REPHR brushes, they are made of goat hair. So these are very hardy, like they're workhorse brushes. So you can use them for powders, you can use them for creams, you could switch it up and you really don't have to worry about like ruining the brushes. I've washed these so many times and look, they're perfectly fine. If you're wondering what kinds of makeup products you can use them for, you can use them for powders, creams, and also liquids. Next up, we have my favorite concealer brush from REPHR. This is the REPHR number 36. I believe this one came out last holiday. It's one of the more recent additions to the REPHR collection. And I like this one because it's just kind of like that very popular finger shape that really fits just perfectly into the area under my eyes and even in like the little nooks and crannies on my face. I'm applying the Beauty concealer. It's very creamy. Let me show you how nice this just blends out the concealer and just kind of fits, like I said, in every little precise area. But it's not so small where you feel like you're sitting here for 10 hours. Applying your concealer, you can get it in around the nose. I always have a hard time getting products to stick to my nose, so it's good to have a nice little precise brush. You could get little, blemishes and things like that, or even just for touch-ups, like if you do maybe a bolder eyeshadow look and you want to clean up the look, you can kind of just snatch it up like that because it does have a pretty precise shape. Let's talk about setting powder. Because I have very dry skin, I like more precise application of setting powder just in the areas that I need it. Sometimes I'll go all over with like a finishing powder if it's for blurring, but for the most part I like a brush that is very precise. So I highly recommend this one. This is the REPHR number 33. I think this also is one of the newer ones that was added last holiday. This is small and it's flat, but it's very wispy and airy. So I'll show you guys. I'm gonna go in with my little hourglass powder. I'll put all the shades and everything in the description box because you guys always ask me. I tap it off and then I like to just very gently go in and set the places that maybe I want the makeup to last longer, or maybe I'll get a little bit of shine and I want to tone that down. And once again, kind of like what I was saying with the foundation, I don't really want powder and things settling into my fine lines. So I'm really just trying to get as much as I need for the desired effect and not have like so much powder all over my face. Really good, precise little detail brush for setting powder. Now let's talk about bronzer brushes, or kind of larger powder brushes. The ones from REPHR, they tend to be pretty big. So I'll mention that. If you like a more precise bronzer brush, I think we need to wait for more of a medium-sized one from REPHR, but the one that I enjoy the most is brush number 25. This one has a really nice shape where it's like domed enough that you're gonna get a nice airy application, but I don't know if you guys can tell, it does have a little bit of like flatness to it so that when it hits the face, it kind of splays out a little more. I want to show you a comparison here up against what I think is their most popular bronzer brush, which is the P52. The P52, it is a little bit flatter and it's also denser. I kind of feel like the P52 is just a little bit too big for my face. I usually pick this up if I want to bronze like my chest or something. If I'm wearing like, I don't know, if I'm going to an event and I'm wearing like an off the shoulder type of top and I want to match my face to my chest, I'll put this on. Or if I want to do maybe like some body shimmer or something like that, I tend to prefer the 25. So I'm gonna apply my bronzer today with the 25. I got the Tom Ford Soleil bronzer in the shade Terra. These brushes, by the way, because they are goat hair, they pick up products super duper well. So if you have any big Gillette products, I know Tom Ford has a lot. I know Charlotte Tilbury has a lot. Chantecaille, like the Chantecaille blurring powder, for example. Those are really nice products, but they can be a little bit hard to pick up if you have a super soft brush, maybe squirrel hair or something like that. These types of brushes are perfect for grabbing the pigment, so then you can easily get it onto the face without feeling like you have to really dig into the product. So see what I mean here? Like, this brush is just a little bit more airy, and when it kind of hits the cheek, it splays out so that you get a nice, even coverage. Moving along to contour, I have two brushes that I really enjoy from REPHR. One is for cream contour and the other one I like for powder contour. For powder contour, I really like brush number 4. This is a very small, precise, angled brush. It fits perfectly right under the cheekbone and in the hollows of the face. I just really enjoy this for powder contour because, well, other than the fact that it's the perfect shape, it's also wispy enough to really blend out powder products. The one that I like for cream contour is this one right here. This is the number 24. This one is denser and it also has kind of like a flatter shape as well. So I can dip this into, for example, the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, and it just fits perfectly under the cheekbone, and I can kind of stipple that in like you tend to do with cream products. You could use this also for cream bronzer and cream blush as well, but this is just the one that I tend to reach for because of its unique shape to use for contour. So this is actually what I'm going to be using today. I have the Westman Atelier face trace stick that I like to do very easily blend it out. See how quick it is? It's so fast, and it really, like, the fact that it's a cream product, it does not phase this brush at all. Once again, you can use it with powders, you can use it with creams. This is a pretty versatile brush. By the way, guys, I did wash all of these brushes ahead of the video. A lot of you asked me, how do you wash your brushes? What do you use to wash your brushes? I want to show you right here. I have a brand new one that's not super gross. This is the REPHR brush soap. This is awesome. If you're looking for a way to wash your brushes, or you just ran out of your favorite brush soap, or if you've been using like Dawn dish soap or anything like that, and you want something that is going to be gentle on your food day, even if it's not REPHR, if it's some other brand as well, this is a really great soap. It's a perfect add-on anytime you're maybe picking something up from the REPHR site. I highly recommend. Moving along to blush brushes, I have two recommendations for you guys. One that is more for powders, and once again, one that is more for creams. So these are my two recommendations. This one right here is the number 5. This is the one that I like to use for powder blush. It's just a really good standard cheek brush. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's the perfect size. It's wispy enough that you can blend things out, but it's dense enough that you can pick blushes up. It's very similar to a lot of other Fude blush brushes, but like at a fraction of the cost. So just put that out there. The one that I like for cream blushes is the number 37. See how this one, it's like shorter and denser, but it still has a good surface area so that you don't get that dreaded like splat or spot of cream blush when you go in with something that's very pigmented. I just think that this is good for dipping into a cream, picking it up, and then depositing it and blending it on the face. I don't think you really want to do that with something that is as wispy as this. So these are my two recommendations for blush, and I'm going to be applying one of my favorite Dior blushes. This is the color Sillage, or it's called Greige on the website. I don't know why, guys, but I'll show you the number 5 with this. I did pick up quite a bit. These brushes, they pick up a lot of pigment. A lot of you guys ask me, because I do so many brush and Fude videos, when should you buy REPHR? When should you buy Sonia G? What's worth it? Should you get Chikuhodo? Should you get Koyudo? Like, there's so many options out there. A lot of you guys are wondering like which one's better, etc. I don't think it's so much a question of which one is better. I think it's really down to what are you using the brushes for? What's your price point? And like, how many brushes do you want to get? Like, what's your lifestyle? Are you going to clean your brushes every single day? Do you have the time and energy to like be a little bit more precious with your brushes? I like the REPHR brushes because, like I said, they're workhorse brushes. I really don't have to be too precious with them. I can wash them a million times and they're great. They're very sturdy. They're all goat hair, so it's not gonna be like super ultra soft squirrel hair or silver fox or anything like that, but they're very affordable for Fude brushes. So you're getting really great quality, something that you don't really have to worry about it too much, that you can use with both powder and cream products. And usually, especially during the sales, I will pick up multiples of the different brushes because I don't have time to wash these brushes every day or every week. I'll kind of cycle through all of my favorite shapes. And then like every 3 weeks or once a month, I'll just do a big wash. So I think you kind of need to think about it that way. Like not everybody has the budget to buy like a million Sonia G or Chikuhodo Z series brushes. It can get very pricey very fast. So I think the REPHR brushes are really good entry level Fude brushes, and you can kind of figure out what shapes you like so that if you do spend a little bit more money on maybe a more expensive, luxurious Fude brush, you're not wasting your money. In fact, I actually bought my sister a whole bunch of REPHR brushes for Christmas last year because she's not into makeup like I am. She just needed a really good standard set. I wanted something that was going to be like a really good practical go-to. So I curated a whole set for her based off of how she likes to do her makeup, and it works perfectly for her. Moving along to highlighter brushes. My favorite highlighter brush from REPHR is the REPHR number 20. This is a beautiful wispy little fan brush. It's perfect for applying very natural application of highlighter, but not only do I like to use this for highlighter, I also like to use this for very pigmented blushes. Think like those House Labs blushes, for example. They're so bright and pigmented. I don't want to look like a clown at the end of the day. So I just take a little bit on this fan brush. I just dust it on the apples of my cheeks, and it's a really great way to just build up the color and get it to your preferred opacity. But we're gonna use this for highlighter today. I have right here the Coral Cruise highlighter from the Dior Riviera collection from this year. And these are a baked product. So once again, the goat hair bristles make it really, really good for picking it up. You can use the brush this way to kind of get it on very precisely. Then you can turn it and you can use that direction to blend it out and have it look super nice and seamless. It's such a great little fan brush. I don't even think I have a fan brush like this from other brands. I mentioned to you guys in my Sonia G ranking video, which I will link down below if you guys missed it, I ranked all of my Sonia G face brushes. I told you in that video, I'm not a super big fan of fan brushes, but the one caveat to that is this brush, something that's smaller and wispier for more precise application. I'm not a huge fan, pun intended. I'm not a huge fan of using the bigger fan brushes for things like bronzer and blush. So check out that video if you want to hear a little bit more about that, but I really do like this particular fan brush. And finally, friends, we are now moving along from the face brushes to the eyeshadow brushes. I have a selection that I chose for you guys today, and to demo all of these brushes, we are going to be using the new Pat McGrath Mothership 11 Sunlit Seduction. I just posted a review of this palette here on my channel, which you guys can check out. I thought this would be a fun palette to use because it has a lot of different finishes, so then we can kind of play with all the finishes using the brushes. I think you guys understand what I mean. Now, starting off, I want to show you guys the crease brushes from REPHR, and I'll explain the differences because they're very similar. So right here we have the number 15 and then we have the number 16. They're basically the same brush, except the number 15 is a little bit smaller, like it's a little bit shorter and it doesn't splay out quite as much. They're both really good. If you have smaller eyes, I would probably pick up the number 15. For me, my favorite is the 16 because I just have like a larger crease and upper lid, and so I like this because it's very airy. I feel like I don't have to do as much blending, but hey, they're basically the same brush. It really just depends on, you know, your lid space and all of that. So I'm gonna go in with one of the mattes that is in the palette. You guys will see it really picks up the pigment and works it into the eye. Like, look at that. I'm tapping off because this is a very pigmented set of shadows that I'm working with. It blends so seamlessly. I love how fluffy these crease brushes are, because if it's not super fluffy, then that's kind of when you get into a situation where it goes on patchy on the eye. I like scratched my neck and now it is like so flush. That's just what happens to my skin, guys. So I'm sorry if it looks like I have a rash on my neck. That's my skin. You touch it and it flushes. So don't pay attention. I'm like self-conscious. Anyway, we gotta talk about the REPHR number 1. Now, this brush was designed to basically be a brush that you could use to do an entire eyeshadow look. So it's very multi-purpose. You need to have at least this eye brush from REPHR. I don't know if I have a brush like this from other brands. It actually is pretty unique. And so the reason why you can use it for a bunch of different types of application is because it's fairly flat. Like, it's not too dome shaped, so you can kind of lay color down, but it's still very wispy, so you can also use it as a blending brush. So I'm gonna first use this kind of like you would a traditional shader brush. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is just a medium toned shimmer. I'm gonna lay that onto the eye. It's very soft as well because it is rather fluffy. Boom, so good. It's not gonna be the most precise brush. That's not really what it's designed for. Like, this is a really good one and done brush. You dip it into maybe like one of your Chantecaille single shadows, something like that, and you just work it all over the lid and your eye look is basically done for the day. So that's how you would use this as a shader brush. Many times in a lot of my eyeshadow reviews, you guys will see me add a little bit of like very soft and natural depth to the outer half of the crease. That's perfect if you want to add some dimension to the eyes, but you're kind of like maybe going to work, you're doing a day look, you're not going too crazy and smoky with your look. That's what I'm trying to say. And so what I will do is I will dip into a matte that is just one shade darker from the original one. And you can use this brush to very naturally add slightly more dimension to the crease. Once again, because of the shape, it kind of fits right in there and it diffuses everything out. Like, this is not for being super precise. It's not for packing on color. It's for a very natural, airy, and very easy and quick application. It's such a good brush. You need to get this one. You need to at least get this one if you're looking for an eyeshadow brush. These next two brushes are detail brushes. These are also two, in addition to the number 1, that I really want you to consider picking up, because these are really gonna change your makeup game. These are the ones I'm gonna buy in the sale. I'm gonna buy multiples of these because I don't know, I feel like I have enough and then I don't have enough. I'm always trying to find a clean one. So right here I have for you guys the REPHR number 3 and the REPHR number 23. These are both little detail brushes, and as you can see, the 23 is significantly smaller. This is the tiniest little detail brush that I have in my collection. I like to use the number 3 just kind of like on the lower lash line, but especially if I'm going in with deeper colors, if I'm doing a smokier look, if I need something very precise, the number 23 is so good. Also, if you have smaller eyes, you're gonna wanna go with the number 23. Oh my gosh, it's so precise, you can't mess up. I can't wait to pick up more of these. I'm gonna go back into this matte shade and I'm gonna apply a little bit. You probably see me use these in every single eyeshadow review, no lie. And remember how I added that slightly darker matte in the crease? I'm now gonna go in with the smaller number 23 into that darker matte, and I'm gonna add it just right there and kind of like in the corner of the eye so that we can kind of match and connect the color that we did before. Seriously, game changer. Like, I love these little precision brushes. They're so good. I use them in almost every single eyeshadow look. The next 3 brushes I'm gonna show you, I like to use for building up depth, but in slightly different ways. So this one right here is the number 12. This is a short, nubby, very dense little brush that's great for packing on color. So if I really wanna build up one of these mattes, I can dunk into that, tap off my brush, and I can really pack. See how I've got that color there? I can really pack on that color onto the eye and just build it up in the inner corner. And it is small enough that it's going to be very precise. I use this all the time when I'm creating smoky looks, when I'm maybe dipping also into a formula that isn't as pigmented. Like if you have a little Chanel quad and you're like, oh, I kind of want to do a smokier look, but these shadows are very soft, you can go in with something like this. It's really gonna grip the pigment and really help you build it up onto the lid. The other two that I have right here are, like I said, I like to use them for building up depth and kind of like detail work, but in basically when I wanna blend the color out a little bit more. So these are the smaller crease brushes from REPHR. Actually, let me just show you up against the number 16 that I used in the crease before. See how much smaller and bittier these are? So these could be your crease brush if you have hooded eyes or smaller eyes, deeper set eyes, you need something a little bit more precise, you can get these. For me, I like to use these for two different things. Number one, for creating very precise depth. Maybe I wanna kind of trace around the ball of the eye to create like a winged look. I'll show you guys in a second. And also I like to use these for blending out the perimeter of the eyeshadow to get a really blended professional look. So let's do just that right now. I'm going to dip into the deeper matte right here. I'm going like that, and then I take the remainder and I brush it around the eye like a little rainbow shape. And see, you just get a little bit more depth with very precise placement. And because it's a little mini crease brush, you're gonna be able to blend everything out in a very seamless way. That's how I like to build my eye looks. I start off with the larger brushes. I apply the color in more of like a wash of color, and then I go to smaller and smaller and smaller brushes to get a more defined professional look. And I don't do it for every single look, obviously, but the more precise depth that I want, the smaller the brush I switch to. Now that I've done all of this work on my eyes, I'm gonna go in with a powder brush, and I'm going into, which one is this? The number 14. And I love to use these little brushes, like I said, for just blending around the perimeter of the eye. I'll go like this to kind of snatch up the color so that the shape remains lifted. I don't like it when the eyeshadow kind of makes my eyes drooped down. Even if I don't do this on camera, guys, like I pretty much do this with almost every single eyeshadow look, eyeshadow tutorial. I have two more brushes to show you guys, and the next one is the REPHR number 29. This is the teeniest little like eyeliner brush ever. Super precise. I like to use this for eyeliner. I don't think I have one that is like this tiny in my collection. So I'll show you guys. I'll basically just go into the deepest shade that is in a palette, and I will use this to just kind of pack on the color into the lash line. It's so precise that it's kind of hard to mess up. Like you really, really can get in there. So you can see the difference between this eye and that eye. And obviously you could like, you know, wing it out or something like that. But for this look, I'm just gonna keep it there at the base of the lash. The final brush that I have to show you guys today is the REPHR 21. Now this is a perfect flat detail shader brush, and I like to use this for applying shimmers. So if you have any shimmers in your palette that are kind of like a topper shade, maybe they need a little bit more precise placement, you don't want to get any fallout, then these are going to work really, really well. And with the Pat McGrath palette, for me, that is all of these sparkly shades, all of like the Blitz Astral shades that she has. Anything that's super glittery and foily, I like to use this brush. I actually did wet the brush right before I showed you this. And as you can see, it's nice and flat, so it kind of just lets you perfectly lay that color onto the eye without getting any kind of fallout. I'm just kind of like packing it onto the lid in a very precise way, and the bristles are very firm, so it's very, very good for this style of application. You could use this to just do a regular eyeshadow, but It's not really my favorite brush for that because it is so flat. I like to use this more for laying down glitter and sparkles. And this is the final look, friends, using all of my favorite REPHR makeup brushes. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. If it was helpful, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And now it is your turn, friends. Sound off in the comments down below and let me know which are your favorite REPHR brushes. Have you been enjoying them? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to respond to you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.